This is Danger Man again, and today we're going to go over blisters. A lot of skaters get blisters simply because of bad form. When you think of bad form, you think, well, I don't know how to skate, so therefore I'm going to get blisters. That's not what I'm saying. Even good skaters get blisters due to bad form simply because of fatigue. Skaters get what all athletes get in terms of blisters called a hot spot before they get an actual blister. If you look right here, there's a red spot. I've skated an 18-mile skate earlier in the day, and I began to get a hot spot here. So if you get a hot spot before it turns into a full-on blister, you can use an anti-chafe. In this case, there's a brand called Body Glide. Other things you can do is put moleskin on it, but the bottom line is, if you keep good form and if you keep no friction whatsoever in the boot against the skin, you won't get a blister. Again, this hot spot's taking place because over time, after 18 miles, my body started to fatigue and I lost a bit of my form. One of the best ways to stop blisters is to prevent them in the first place. But unfortunately, it's hard for us to forecast where a blister is going to occur unless a blister's already happened. So after you've healed once from a blister, in general, that skin is a little more calloused and you're going to be in better shape to prevent a blister, but it does not necessarily mean that's going to happen. So identify a place where you've gotten a blister previously, and then when you go back out to skate after you've healed, you want to use a product like a Bliss Stop, a second skin. There's different forms to add your second skin. You can also use an anti-chafe such as Body Glide, or you can simply tape the area, but keep the tape low. I mean, you could practically use like a hockey tape just to cover it once. If you're going to cover it, you can also use a moleskin. This is a thick moleskin, a thick padded moleskin, but a thin layer of moleskin is all you need. Now when you're applying moleskin, a lot of people think you take the whole moleskin and cut it around it and put it just, let's say my hot spot was right here. And they would think you'd cut a small piece and cover there. No, you take the whole moleskin and you wrap it around. You want to get as much coverage as possible. And you want to put it on before the skate begins and let it dry in place there for a few minutes before. Then you put your sock over it and then you put it in the boot. Now, if you're going to skate for a long period of time, like a 10-mile skate, eventually your body is going to sweat and the moisture is going to make the moleskin shift. So in that case, you really may want to go with something like this where it's just not going to come off. Or a hockey tape where it comes all the way around and it can't shift. The idea here is to put something between you, your skin, and the boot because of that movement. But it's important to understand that that movement should be minimized by going with a very thin sock in the first place. Here is a pair of Speed Skater socks. They've actually got Kevlar in them, and the yellow is the Kevlar. You'd think, well, why is it just on the ends? The reason it's on the ends is because these are the places where the wear takes place. So why, spend all that money on Kevlar from front to end, and then you pay more money for the material in the sock? But this is a very thin material. It's a very thin sock. A lot of skaters will actually skate even without socks, but at that point you've got, you're married to that boot. You'll never sell it to somebody. Most skaters don't believe in buying used skates. Some do, some don't. Especially if it's like a molded boot, not a soft boot, not a rec skate. When you get into the pro grade skates, those kind of skaters would never buy somebody else's skate. I say never, but there's always exceptions.
It's too much for any man.